Hey everyone, welcome back. We're doing some more of This is the Police as soon as I make sure the stream is up and dandy. The I should need to check that. Um After the storms the other day kept us out without internet until about 7 yesterday. Well, 7 at night, I should say. I should specify. Um, So, since I couldn't do this then, we'll continue this now. So, let's continue with This is the Police. On day 93, priest notes prostitution increase. Soap actor Manuel Torreblanca announced completion of film career. Doctor, euthanasia should be a personal choice. Let's see, those are still looking good. So let's get in on this. Yeah, I decided to play some of Ozaki is starting to be not worth the trouble. I decided to go back and play the Batman Telltale series. I had the whole thing. I'd play episode 1, but I'd not gone back through and actually finished. And I got through episodes 2 and 3, and whoo boy, that went somewhere I didn't expect. That's for sure. Let's see. 2 days for that. Not great. Shift A. Okay, everybody's kind of balanced now. Let me take a look at this. Is there a reason? As soon as I can hire someone who is better, I think Ozaki is going to be out the door. I need to take a look at something real quick. Let me get everything else loading up. Mass riot at the foundry. Several dozen workers have gone on strike over layoffs and wage cuts. For a while, they were expecting someone from the company to negotiate with them, but this never happened. The protesters have armed themselves with improvised weapons and started to break down the fence. So first off, we need the paddy wagon. Okay, we're going to send Prado, Vela, White, and Joxy. I can always send a few more if I need to. You look this up because I'm sick and tired of some of these. Rape the toilet. It's oddly specific. Oh, I think I know why. It's a public restroom near like a park. Inside a booth in the ladies' public toilet, a woman was overheard holding a man against his will and attempting to blackmail him into having sex. Crystal Harrington only vaguely made out part of their conversation and immediately ran to find a phone to call the police. I have a feeling there's more to this than meets the eye. Let's see, mass riot report. Figured I do. Offender caught officers and harmed civilians and harmed. Nice. And I was a little off the other day. It was Richard Zelazny, not Richard Zelazny. Roger Zelazny. Roger Zelazny is the man who wrote Booze occupied by a couple who were spicing up their relationship with role-playing games and sex in public places. Yeah, I kind of had a feeling that was going on. See, Mafia assignment from Sand. Something going down to port at 1745. Let's see, 1500. Atticus Tower. Mr. Boyd, I have the misfortune of having a family. My only daughter is marrying a complete idiot. She's requiring that the wedding take place on the roof of my skyscraper, and as soon as possible. But I want to protect my daughter from making the biggest mistake of her life. So I've organized a grand wedding and reception, and I ask that you arrest the groom at the altar, or on some monstrous charges, like child pornography, for example. Better for my daughter to survive that horrible moment of shame in front of 100 people than live in shame every day for the rest of her life. This is a iffy thing. I'm not sure on what's the best thing to do with here. I mean, I kind of want to help him, but because it gets me the money which I need. But I'm okay. I'm okay right now, so I'm gonna hold off for the moment. See, robbery at the boutique. Two women tried to quietly pocket some expensive jewelry at the boutique, but the guards saw everything, stopped them, and demanded that they turn out their pockets. One of the women then pulled a gun from her purse and began to threaten several of the store employees. Well, threatened the store employees. Let's see. Vela, Joxy, and Gay. Let's see. Hostage situation. Registry office. Ow. Security guard reports that an armed man wearing a frock coat burst into the registry office. He was dragging a young girl in a white dress behind him and demanded that the staff immediately arrange their marriage. Let's see. Prado, Brock, White. I think 3 of them can handle it. Wait a minute. Okay, I think this is a different hit and run that I'm looking at. I finally had the thought in my head, and I'm just sick and tired of looking at this. Suspicious individual Blitz Cafe. Waitress says a suspicious-looking man in a rumpled jacket has been sitting at a table for several hours. He didn't know anything. I brought him coffee, and he just sat there staring at me. Freeze going to watch until my shift is over, and then the girl stammered. It's scary to imagine. Let's send Osmond and Kane. They can probably handle this. Situations more than we thought. Oh, I can only send one, so that works. Oh, whoops. The man grips the girl's arm tightly and aims a shotgun at a registry office employee. She says, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may now kiss the bride. You there, throw down your weapon or I'll put a hole in your suit. Vendor caught, officers unharmed, civilians unharmed. Good. Now, I believe it was this homicide. How close was I? I was super close on this. I've got a couple of frames out of order. So, put that back. Put that one back. There. I'm arguing. That's the... Wait. What else is wrong? Wait a minute. Oh, no, that's right. Oh, and I should have noticed this. Those two are in the wrong order. John Callis, the victim's son, he killed his mother because she made him stop playing video games. Let's see, homicide, ghetto. She's not here today. God, that was just bugging the hell out of me. It was all because I had a couple things in the wrong order. Let's see. Whoa. Some big events going on. Let's see. Which one's got... That one's got less time. We just received an anonymous call. Someone is unloading a shipment of arms at the... an arms shipment at the port. All the regular workers were sent home early. So SWAT... Powers... Prado, Bastion, and Powers. Mass riot... without explanation, Karen Sparkle's manager canceled the Freeburg stop on the incredibly popular singer's tour. So it's originally scheduled to perform in town next month, and incensed fans have gathered at the ice arena where the concert was to be held, demanding to speak with Karen immediately. Senior guard Trevor Hernandez sent his men to calm down the crowd, but the guards were severely beaten, and the crowd has begun to break open doors and windows. I cannot read today. Okay. Let's see. Robbery report. See, offender caught officers and harmed specific individual. The man in question was fired from his job today. He was just trying to collect his thoughts and figure out how to get by. Let's see what else. Robbery, hit and run, and attempted carjacking. Okay, so I've gone. Ooh, I'm waiting for. I need a couple people to come back so I can handle this. Yeah, I finally broke down. I'm just looking it up. Oh, smuggling. Oh, I forgot about the port. Oh shit. Ooh, I forgot. 4 large men in black suits are loading boxes into a van. There's 3 more armed guards. You're surrounded. Nobody move. Men with machine guns are firing at the cops. The others quickly open one of the boxes and pull out a grenade launcher. Throw stun grenades and attack. That's all we can do. Thank God I had SWAT there. Offender caught officers unharmed. Found automatic weapons. This is interesting. I could sell it. I could ask the mafia to sell it, because, I mean, they're the ones who were going after it anyway. I'm taking it to the station. I'm not going to risk it. Don't know why you did, but we hope you had good reason. Okay. Illegal business activities. Live Good Mini Market parking lot. Martin Coker, owner of a local grocery store, said that 2 older women with big gym bags are hanging around the parking lot selling cigarettes to passersby. I can barely make ends meet as it is, and these hucksters are chasing away all my customers. Gay and Joxy should probably be able to handle that. Mass riot report. Offender caught, officers unharmed. Civilians unharmed. Good. What about this robbery? I don't remember seeing this. This, one is not covering this. So it's the homicide or this hit and run. There's a hit and run in here, but not this. Well, I got one case off my back. It was bugging the fuck out of me, at least. Let's see. Terrorism. Freiburg Central Railway Station. I need to learn how to read. God damn. 2 bearded men came to the train station and began to pray, and then went to different corners of the depot and took off their jackets. Witnesses reported they were both wearing suicide vests. One of the attackers detonated his vest, but the second man's vest didn't work, and fled in panic into the back rooms of the station. Let's see. Just give it just a second. Okay, I can send SWAT. Prado, Powers, Ozaki, and Kane. Let's see. Illegal business activities report. Offender caught, officers unharmed. So if it goes quite just a second, I'm kind of attempted carjacking report. Okay, we got something for that now. Hit and run, nothing new. Robbery, nothing new. Let's see. Theft at the hospital. Aha! Ooh, I knew this was gonna be bad. Brock Osman and White. Okay. Let's see. The hit and run. How close was I? That's right. That's right. That's right. This frame's in the wrong spot. So is this one. Next two are right. It's this. And then that. Henry Sand, Mafia Lieutenant of the Sand family. I had one frame wrong and another one just in the wrong frickin' spot. Oh, good. Alright. I can't do another investigation. Okay, gotta wait for them to come back. Come on. Okay, we're back there. Um, it's a hit and run report. Oh, yeah, fender caught. That's good. Case closed. Terrorism report. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 5 officers for shift A. Oh, Oh, I thought I had enough people there that this wouldn't be an issue, but the dude. Well, they couldn't find explosives if the guy. Oh God, the fender escaped too. Jesus Christ. Declare dead. Declare dead. Holy shit. Grandmaster Alan Bourne plays 20 simultaneous games in park. Beach to boast new Neptune statue. Minesweeper. Most calls are false alarms. Well, Mafia's still okay with me after that fuck up. Holy shit. No, you are not going home to read a fucking book. Yes, Austin, you can go, although... fucking A. That fucking blew. Ay, ay, ay. Let's see. Henry Sand turned out to be a member of a gang known as Sands. He could help you take down a gang if you make him an informant. Absolutely. Jack, you now start looking at members of the Mafia. You have to be careful. If they find out about this, you're dead. The worse your relationship with the Mafia, the more likely they'll start to suspect something wrong. Let's see. Let's interrogate. Let's see. Henry Sand, male, age 50. Born with a defective heart valve, his doctors have urged him to avoid any sort of strong physical exertion. Henry Sand wanted to be a football player and was doing well on the school team, but a weak heart prevented him from playing football on a professional level. Sports taught Henry how to endure physical pain. He never cared much for his studies, but family connections got him into college, and it was there that he met his future wife. They had a daughter, Marianne, and Henry started working for the Sands parking garage. One day he fell asleep at the wheel and flew off the road into the river and nearly drowned his wife and daughter. From a severe stress of his experience, he developed aquaphobia. At 41, Henry Sand was initiated into the family business and started managing the transportation side of the Sand Mafia organization. His daughter's a successful ballerina, and Henry likes to talk about her talent. When he was 49 years old, he suffered a heart attack and was briefly declared clinically dead. He now wears a pacemaker in his chest. Henry Sand's medical bills have driven him into debt. He always thought the family wasn't paying him enough, but unlike some people he could name, he never goes behind the boss's back or skims off the top. Henry Sand. Saw your daughter at the premiere of Giselle. She was gorgeous. Yes, my wife and I are very proud of Marianne. Henry, think about your family. What will happen if you go to jail for avenging your daughter? Who will pay for her medical bills? Don't remind me. Those doctors are worse than vampires. Your heart won't be able to handle prison. You've already nearly died once. Don't worry. I've been on the inside before. I know how to survive. I know some people in your organization are skimming money off the top. Hear any stories about any of that? Well, I did hear one story. I hereby swear that George Sand stole some antique guns and pocketed the money that the Sand family allocated for their purchase. So let's see. George Sands. Start to investigate. Okay, we're going to put Bowling, Armstrong, and Porter. George Sands stole some weapons from the station warehouse. These are rare weapons from the Second World War, which the authorities of Freeburg would rather see in a museum. Now, the homicide. We're going to send Namada and McStone. Should be able to handle this. Now... Oh, wait. Don't want that. I don't see this robbery anywhere I look. So need to look up robbery drugstore. See, bomb threat, office building. A bearded man wearing a hood rode a bike to the office building, looked around nervously, and walked into the foyer. He quietly placed a black bag behind a pillar and then disappeared. The guard tried to chase the bearded man down, but lost him in the crowded streets. Kochi, Kingston, and Dagger. Whoop. Oh, I learned something new. Labor market. Oh, man. I need a couple of new bloods into Shift A. I'm going to choose at least some of the better two. I'm going to hold off until... least those are going down. Now, finally. Woo! Stop. Don't touch things. Oh, investigation started. Homicide report. Ah, yeah. Offender caught. Able to arrest all suspects. Assault with deadly weapon business center. Oh, what the hell? The reinsurance group of Freeburg reports that several armed men have stormed in their offices and started attacking their employees. One of the men pulled out a gun and told a young employee that he'd kill her unless he returned all his money immediately. Another employee called the police and says the attackers are drunk and can barely stand on their feet. Yes, they are, damn it, but that's not the point. They're crazy enough to kill someone. Gibbons, Yancey, and Robbins. Oh, damn it. Building's lobby is empty and there's a black bag near one column. Evacuate the building. Inside the package, some mechanism spins up and the package starts humming and vibrating. Make sure that everyone's a safe distance. We have a report on the radio that the suspect was spotted in the crowd outside the building. He was smiling, watching the scene. He holds something like a remote control. Take suspect from behind, threaten him with a pistol, and take the remote control. Offender caught, officers unarmed, civilians unarmed. Found explosives. Take to the station. Investigation started. Okay, click on this while I'm doing that. George Sand is a lieutenant in the Sand Mafia family. He manages the flow of arms. He buys the guns, sometimes steals them, and isn't above pocketing the boss's money. George Sand has a bad back, so he usually works with a strong arm accomplice, which makes him even harder to take down. The warehouse isn't under guard. The door is closed with a padlock. The padlock on the door was broken with a pry bar. The rare rifles with bayonets, which hadn't even been used during World War II, were on the second floor of the warehouse. The rifles were packed in long green boxes. The boxes were transferred to a truck with no plates, covered with a tarp, and moved out. The man behind the wheel was George Sand. Okay. Let's see. Drugs door. Not stout. Suspicious individual kindergarten. That went all kinds of haywire. A cleaning lady called to complain about a suspicious man wandering around near the fence. This weirdo spent the last half hour rubbing against the fence, staring at the children. You better come and arrest him. Purdy and McStone. Two, you should be able to handle this. Let's look at this. Assault with deadly weapon report. Offender caught, officers unharmed, civilians unharmed. Excellent. Oh man, I'm gonna have to have a couple of people come in for shift A, as badly shorthanded as we are. Missing person, suburb. Judith Morrow reported to the police that her husband, Eric, has disappeared. She had returned home early from a business trip, hoping to surprise him, but the house had been turned upside down, and Eric was nowhere to be found. No one at work has seen him for the past 5 days. Mole and Hall. I think can do this. Suspicious individual. Poor man was very drunk and was merely holding on the fence to keep from falling. Let's see. Robbery. Okay, wait a minute. I do have a couple things in the wrong order. Looks like. Let's see. Doctor grabbing pills. Locking the door. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Nope. It's gotta be, must be the other way around. I had the right idea, but I put the sequence in the wrong order because I acted like he actually fucking broke in and then locked the doors on his way out. I feel stupid. Pharmacist with a rare skin condition. He decided to steal the medicine he needed because his insurance company refused to pay for his medical bills. Okay. Okay, I can't do that one right now. Okay, these are both for that. Beasley is at home, so that'll wait until tomorrow, but at least I figured it out, which means that's the one going on there. That's the one that's going on right now. So that means I'm caught up with these. Those two that have been bugging the fuck out of me forever are long gone. Unlawful Assembly Bakery. A group of drunken workers gathered at the factory entrance to protest cuts in their shift hours and other privileges. Management at the bread baking plant has ignored their concerns and are calling in the police to disperse the disgruntled employees. Paddy wagon. Send 3 of them. Okay, missing person investigation started. Let's see, Mrs. Morrow. We were late with the mortgage payments a couple of weeks ago, but Eric got a big bonus and everything was settled. My husband was very nervous about the money, worried that someone from work would try and rob us. They work with a lot of ex-convicts. His brother. Eric has serious money problems. 3 weeks ago, he asked to borrow some money, but I'm barely making ends meet myself. Eric began to cry and said that he'd have to deal with some bad people. He got his money from the places you don't want to get money from. Colleague, a couple weeks ago, Eric had an argument with his superiors. He was clearly not himself, trying to borrow money and cursing up a storm. Secretary at his company. I recently overheard one of Eric's telephone conversations, but I can only make out a few pieces. The next meeting with the twins will be my last. That'll be a nice night. I thought he was talking about prostitutes again. Okay. Receipt from Eddie's Burgers, a brochure entitled Multiply Your Capital in 5 Easy Steps, a number of documents, an empty envelope stamped eviction notice, and an advertisement from the sex industry. Sounds like Eric was getting his money lost in hookers. Which, I mean, I would say there are worse places, but not too many immediately come to mind. I mean, at least he's kind of getting something out of that one, but he is putting his family at major risk. Illegal arms sales ghetto. Mrs. Wright reports that the basement of the abandoned house has become a black market for unregistered weapons. There's no machine guns, but plenty of handguns, and they sell them to young boys. Yes, I mean children. Kochi, Gibbons, Purdy, and McStone. I'm just finally glad that those are out of the way. Those have been plaguing me forever, and I just could not see what was wrong. Fender caught, officers unharmed. Let's see. Shooting city center. 3 men were eating dinner at a small restaurant when 2 attackers opened fire on them from the street. One was killed on the spot. The other 2 hid behind an overturned table and began to return fire. Several more cars pulled up and armed men stepped out to join the shootout. One witness shouted over the phone, "There's a lot of civilians around. A lot of people injured. Hurry." Could send everyone I got. Thankfully I had SWAT available. Whew. Oh. Oh. I've got nobody to send. I'm going to refuse and hope. Oh, thank God. I don't need any more dead officers. That scared the fuck out of me. Most people involved in the firefight have been killed or seriously injured. 2 men on the street continue to shoot at the restaurant. Order the suspects on the street to surrender. Fender caught, officers unharmed. Whew. Okay, investigations are good. Robbery, everyday mall. Supermarket cashier saw a young black man in a hood grab an old lady's shopping bags and run away. Robinson Dagger. I'm curious on something. Okay, I can only do current shift. Alright, good to know. Thought maybe I could select some of the newbies from the next shift. But that is not happening. What? Oh, yes, a higher stage consulting detective by names by silence. Okay. Don't need those. Attempted murder suburb. A biker crashed into a truck at an intersection. Some of the biker's friends arrived soon afterwards and pulled the driver out of the truck. They're getting ready for a lynching. I mean, the biker crashed into the truck. It's his fault. I mean, yeah, it's you always want to, help your friend. Missing person report got 3 new frames. Theft report, 3 new frames. I don't have enough for either of them. Yeah, I don't have enough to put anything to this either. Robbery report. Turns out the old woman knew the young man from the neighborhood. He's a medical student who lives nearby and was just helping the woman load her groceries into her car. Yeah, that's not terribly surprising that turned out to be false. The way it was worded, you can't really tell whether or not it was forcefully took. Okay, attempted murder suburbs. Gibbons and Yancey. Okay, day's over. Let's hope this goes well. Gotta wait for them to make it there, and then we'll know one way or another. Come on. Give me good news. Whew. Okay, no dead cops. I've had enough of that. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 4, 5, 6. Who's in good shape that I can send over? Hate to do it to you, Namada, but... Oh. Plot! Oh. This. I don't like this.
Who's there? Show yourself or I'll start popping off.
Mr. Boyd, it's me, Mr. Fry.
I don't know any Mr. Fry, and if I did, I wouldn't want him coming around in the middle of the night.
Mr. Boyd, I'm a private detective. I was looking for your wife, Laura.
Right, my wife, Flora. I'm looking for my wife, Laura. Laura Markham Boyd. Right.
He's forgotten all about it at this point.
You want to throw on a robe, Mr. Boyd?
I'm not cold. So, Laura, what have you learned?
I know where she lives, who she's with. I know what her plans are. To tell the truth, I learned even more than I expected, but I can't tell you anything.
I'll keep a hold of this thing just in case. So, what were you saying?
I said I can't share this information with you, Mr. Boyd. You see, Laura... Well, let's say... Your beloved Laura is with a very wealthy man. I consider myself a good investigator, but he figured out pretty quick that I was onto him. We talked, all three of us.
Oh, he got bought by the investigator.
Well, we agreed that I'd stop bothering them, and in return, I'm getting a very good position in the company he owns. Mr. Oh, I almost gave the name away.
You do realize I could shoot you right here.
Well, that would hardly be fair, Mr. Boyd. I might not have come here, you know. But I decided to come clean with you, look you in the eye. I don't want you blaming Emma. She really wanted to help you. Plus, Mr. Boyd, I like you. You're a good chief of police, and I feel bad for you. So I talked to Laura, and she'll call you when she's ready. You just need to wait a little longer. And, well, I'm not taking a penny from you for my services.
I want to pay the penny.
Get out. Leave the beer.
I already drank half of it.
Don't worry, I'm not squeamish.
Jack is very angry.
Hey, Fry, take off your shoes.
I'm sorry?
Take off your shoes. Leave them at the door and get out.
But why?
Because when I asked you to leave the beer, it seemed like you didn't really mind. And I want you to mind.
That's good.
And the socks.
He's just wanting to be a prick right now.
Fine. Good night.
Oh, I can't say I really blame him all that much. Oh. Well, now. Let's see. Day 95. LGBT activist, homophobia in Freeburg at every turn. No matter where you go, that's what they'd say. World War II naval mine discovered in city dumpster. That's pretty bad. I mean, especially a naval mine's going to be pretty big. Well, city dump, I should say. During concert, singer Gennaro Crespo presents Ring to Admirer. Okay. Looks like we're doing good there. The new hire didn't come into work today. Yes, Cross, you can go. Our house burned down last night and my elderly father was inside. We need to somehow make sense of this and start planning the funeral. Yes. Okay. It's not even showing him. Is it not showing him because he's just not here? Or... Let's see. Oh, I need a new bar. Jack, a new bar opened in the city, and someone has promised to pour free drinks for all cops and firefighters. Can't speak for the firefighters, but our guys are going to jump at this opportunity. Can't blame them. Let's look at the affairs. City Hall, yes. Oh. No point in not asking. Okay, still nothing good there. Let's see. Just regular appointments with his doctor. Send them. There is one other thing. Shift A. Whoops. Wrong button. Yep, he's already getting fired. Suicide threat, Freeburg High School. Chemistry teacher called to tell us that one of his graduate students is staying at the edge of the roof. He's been harassed by his classmates because he wouldn't hide his sexual orientation. Seems like the guy finally broke. Vela Namada. Let's see. This shift is so understaffed. This is going to get so bad. And I've got nobody worth hiring. Armed robbery, Gallery of Modern Art. During the premiere of an animalism exhibit. God damn, learn to read, asshole. Masked gunmen burst into the gallery, killed 2 guards, and started bagging the paintings, some of which were worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Some visitors and staff are still in the gallery. Got to send at least 3 with it, wanting as many. Should have sent Prado. Robbery report. Oh, yes. Vendor caught. Good. Case closed. Thank you. Speaking of... Davenport on there. Hopefully I'll get some stuff quicker. I never got a chance to look back at this. No mention of the brick that I remember. Please damp scissors away. Dash like a bull. Yeah, he just got into the car. So, let's see. I'll look at this a little later. I'm trying to kind of want to focus. Suicide report. Vendor caught, officers unharmed. Okay. That's good. And hope that'll get us Joxie and Millsap back. All I can send is Prado. And hope. Okay, come on. Give me somebody. Okay. Robbery Livewire store. An alarm in electronics store just went off. We called, but they're not picking up. It's the middle of the day, so they should be open. Hopefully. Wait. No. Wrong guy. Hey, Zamasi. Nice to hear from the developers. Unlawful assembly, a slaughterhouse. A group of young people blocked the slaughterhouse's exit, chanting, "Meat is murder!" Protesters are carrying flashy posters, and one eyewitness reports seeing a weapon. Sorry I didn't see your thing before. I hadn't looked at the chat recently. Send a couple and paddy wagon for now. Yeah, I didn't think so. Armed robbery report. Oh, whoop. Let's see, robbery from Livewire store. Shop window is broken. There are 2 large men with guns inside. One is cleaning out the cash register, and the other is carrying a TV. Customers are lying on the floor, and there's no sign of the cashier. We have you surrounded. Throw down your weapons. The robbers spot the police. I hope they did after I said something. The man with the TV runs into a pickup truck, and the other pulls the cashier from under the counter and puts a gun to his head. Let us go quietly. Ooh, this is dicey. They're not getting away. Could grab the guy with the TV. Then basically it's a hostage standoff. If I tell the hostage to duck, there's a chance that that's going to go way bad. We'll grab the guy with the TV and hope. Vendor caught, officers unharmed. Civilians unharmed. Thank you. Armed robbery report. Think of it. Vendor caught, officers unharmed, civilians unharmed. Oh, I still need a couple more people at least. But yeah, I am absolutely loving this. I've had some really, really bad incidents happening Montevella, Mitchell. I can always send a couple more if I need to. The story's been good. I love, finding out a little bit more. I've had a few problems in the investigations department, which I finally caved in and looked up some stuff on it. Drug manufacturing, office building. Lisa Gwilyn was in a hurry at the dentist's and accidentally went into the wrong room. Saw people inside wearing white coats and masks, bottles of pills, and some suspicious equipment and different colored powders. I think they might have been drugs. I've got to send at least 3, but I have a feeling that that's a hoax one. Yeah, I love the setting. I love the fact of how well developed everything is and how well it feels. Unlawful assembly report. Vendor caught, officers unharmed. Excellent. Oh, you know what? I don't think I ever looked at the church and what they could do. Will personally bless forgiveness of sins. Phone eulogy, prayer for Jack's family. Touch the relic. Curious as to what they'll bring to all this. Let's take a look at the mission from God. Oh, dear God, no. I'm not even sure it's worth reading as many officers they want. So I build a new church for the glory of our Lord Jesus Christ and am beset by the greedy paws of his good servants. Just when we were about to start laying the foundation, the developer decided to raise the price of his services, threatening to disrupt our production schedule. His new demands are unchristian, simply extortionist. The Lord wants you to send your employees, Jack, to talk with this developer and his men. Oh, I don't know what's going on with me. I can't read. Put a few of them in cement. We have to make it clear to these greedy heathens that the Lord's house shall be built even on the bones of sinners. I would have to send literally everyone I have, pretty much. Oh, drug manufacturing. Wandered into the offices of the pharmaceutical company next door to the dentist. Makes sense. Shooting. Patrol tried to pull over a black Jeep for speeding, but the driver tried to ditch them. I gotta wait for at least one more. But yeah, I'm definitely very happy with the game. I love the length of it. I tried to be, if you go back to the YouTube stuff, I believe it's part 3 maybe, part 2 or part 3, one way or another. I tried playing the straight and narrow. I was absolutely going to do nothing for the mob. And that backfired monumentally, resulting in my death. I have since then recanted my ways and have decided to play ball a little bit. Let's see, suspicious individual suburb. Mrs. Lombardi looked out to the window and saw a strange overgrown man spreading out his hands. The old woman whispered, I think it's part of some kind of satanic ritual. I have a feeling it's not. I've had some horrible events with officer death, including today's. Oh, that went... Shooting, city center. Police car catches up with the Jeep. Dark-skinned teenager pops out of a window and starts shooting. Shoot out the wheels. The Jeep abruptly turns down an alley. The vehicle can't handle the turn and flips over. Come out with your hands up. Vendor caught, officers unharmed, civilians unharmed. Found automatic weapons. Bring them to the station. My big question now is I've managed to do well on the money front to this point, but I'm got now. Let's see. Mrs. Lombardi got all worked up about a common scarecrow that one of her neighbors placed on their lawn. Vandalism, gallery of modern art. What was I saying? Oh man, I don't remember. This is one of those ones, if I'd have known and I'd have had enough confidence in it, I would have most likely kickstarted this because this was been right up my alley, and I love the ease of the play. I mean, once you've got it down, it's kind of repetitive. But that's most games like this. It's resource management. That's the name of the game. You can't help that. But The events have been varied, the situations going through it, and things written realistically. There's not they don't hold back on language that a lot of people would be, shocked by, because realistically it kind of belongs there. Another security guard reported that he locked a vandal inside the gallery. The guy had already broken one of the statues with a hammer, part of the Eros versus Thanatos exhibit. Oh, we're in the Greek. In fact, there's a Thanatos one. It's interesting. No need to hurry. There's no way he's getting out this door. And as for the other statues, I don't mind either way. Let him smash up the porno if that's what he wants. Yeah, Thanatos is much better known now thanks to Smite. But Thanatos was is the Greek god of death and theft report. Okay, and attempted carjacking. Okay. He's the Greek god of death, which most people will immediately think Hades, but no, Hades was just the god of the underworld. Vandalism report. Offender caught, officers unharmed. But Thanatos doesn't come up much in actual Greek mythology. He only has like 2 or 3 actual appearances. I know one of them is in, I believe it's the Iliad from Homer, which I've never managed to completely sit down and read. I've got it over there. I've got the Iliad and the Odyssey. I can actually see it where I'm sitting. But I've never sat down and really read it. I need to. But yeah, to see Thanatos in there is a nice little thing. Dragon Slayer Club holding regional martial arts tournament. Study finds 86% of clowns are schizophrenic. Bakery closed for disinfection. I'd be curious about the schizophrenic clowns. And this is definitely the time when Stephen King's It was a big thing. It's getting big again now, thanks to the new movie. Series of movies, I should say. Drank too much. I don't really think I can hold it together. Namada, you've been good. I asked you to take an extra day. Yes, you can have the day off. Band's playing a charity concert for some sick children. Yes, you can go. 2 officers down, but I think I'm all right. Namada was my own fault, so that's perfectly fine. But yeah, I've kickstarted a lot of things, but I've never kickstarted a video game. And some of it is a little bit of wariness. I've done a lot of board games. I've done a lot of RPGs. I've done books. But largely it's, get my salary. Oh yeah, bunch of freaking funerals. Lord. So many good officers. Let's see. Hire one more officer. Fuck yeah. That's what I want to see. Hire one more detective. Pay increase 10%. Let's see. Mass riot at old house. Freeburg's Department of Housing evicted 60 retired construction workers from their homes. Over a decade ago, they received housing on favorable terms for their contribution to the development of the city. Most of the evicted people took to the streets, demanding that they be left alone and allowed to live in their own homes. Wanda Parker, another retiree, is leading the demonstration. She said they aren't allowed to formally registered as tenants, and their registration there is renewed every year by the mayor. The mayor's office stressed that no one officially lives in these apartments, so it can't be a problem of evicting homeless people. I mean, I'm not getting involved in this. I mean, it's a riot, but I think they're perfectly justified. First things first. Double check this. Shift A is the one needs it. They've got 3 more, so I need 3 for A, and then I can balance it out. So you're going to A. Ooh, and it just goes downhill. You're going to A. You're going to A. So let's see. 2, 6, and... So who's got the weakest group? I'm going to say it's Shift B. And you're going to Shift B. I mean, this is... Demanding to be left. I mean, so far, it says it's a mass riot, but they've just taken to the streets, and it sounds mostly like they're protesting. Yeah, I'm leaving that be. We're going to handle the bomb threat. Suburb. Hello, police? I was taking out the trash, and I heard a ticking sound coming from the neighbor's cans. That's not anything to be worried about. Assault with deadly weapon, Freeburg High. During an English literature class, a wild dog ran in and began to snap at the students. The guy from Animal Control arrived, but he wanted to impress the kids and got a real gun and tried to shoot the dog. At the last moment, the dog lunged, and the man shot a schoolgirl instead. The teacher attacked the shooter and also received a bullet in the stomach. The suspect started shouting that the whole thing was an accident and disappeared into the basement of the school. I mean, it does kind of sound like an accident. But, okay. Oh, yeah. Bomb threat's nothing. Mass riot. Let's see. What does it say? Offender escaped. Oh. Yeah, that's a bad thing. I probably should have done with it for that. I did not expect that. So, that's my fault. I mean, it didn't sound like they were getting violent, so I didn't think much of it. There was no bomb in the garbage. The ticking sound was coming from an antique cuckoo clock that someone threw away. What a lovely piece, said the woman. I'm taking this inside with me. Well, I had the wrong false alarm. It's the animal abuse at the animal shelter. Animal rights activist Betty Medina said the local kennel for stray animals is run by a group of sadists who mock the beasts, maim, and even kill them. I've been following these monsters, and I'm prepared to provide plenty of proof of their inhuman acts. So yeah, so let's take a look at this. In the darkness of the basement, you can see the silhouette of a man sitting, hugging his knees, whimpering and mumbling under his breath that this should never have happened. Tosses your gun nice and slow. Suspect wipes his tears away and suddenly jumps up and screams. I'm not going to jail. There's a gun in his hand. Hit him with the taser. I mean, you wanted to impress, but yeah, you don't do that. Live weapon in a crowded area, in a relatively small area, something bad was guaranteed to happen. That was guaranteed to go bad. Oh, another mass riot. Halo Beauty Salon. Television star Manuel Torreblanca was exiting from the beauty salon when a group of fans noticed him. They were so excited that they began to tear at his clothes. The actor managed to retreat and lock himself inside the salon. Hurry, I think they're going to break the shop window. Okay, so the paddy wagon's definitely getting sent. But yeah, I've always, whenever I've kickstarted, see the animal abuse one. Whenever I've kickstarted, it's always been largely from groups that I've known, either game developers who have a pedigree and just need the extra help, drug trafficking in the suburb, or groups like Zombie Orpheus and the Dead Gentleman, who I've seen their work. They've had a nice record, and I've wanted to be a part of it. I've been wary with video games, and this is not something on these developers or any particular developers, although there are some who've definitely done stuff, because anything can pop up saying you're a digital developer and try and do all this, but whether or not there's actually got the resources to do it is another thing coming. If I'd had the money at the time, I probably would have backed for Friday the 13th. I'm sad I don't have it right now, but I always recommend caution with Kickstarters because there have been bad stories, even in stuff that you wouldn't expect. There's in the tabletop world, there's the famous incident with the Doom that came to Atlantic City. Guy ran off with their money, nobody saw anything from it. That doesn't mean that Kickstarters are inherently major risks. There's risks with anything, and as this is, you're kind of pre-ordering when you Kickstarter, but for the most part, you're becoming an investor. That means you pay the money, and yes, you are supposed to get something out of it. Anybody who invests money into a company will get something out of that company one way or another, whether it's stocks, product, what have you. But there's always risk that comes with it. You should always look into a group before you invest, because it's easy to think, oh, this is a great idea, I'll invest in it because I want to be a part of that, and have that turn out to be a whole hoax, and now you're out however much you did. For a lot of things, especially with Kickstarter, that's not usually a terribly huge amount. But there are definitely some that can generate it. It's like, I know the Dark Souls board game. I dropped 120 on that. I dropped 200 on Cthulhu Wars. Had it not been from established companies, or in the case of Cthulhu Wars, established people, I'd have been dicey. But as it was, I got a shitload of stuff out of it, way more than what I paid for. But I knew who was involved in what I was getting into. But anyway, off that soapbox for a moment. Let's see, drug trafficking in the suburbs. We just received an anonymous tip. There's a meat truck making a run, and along with the frozen meat, they're smuggling heroin and hidden inside cow carcasses. The truck has an armed escort. SWAT is definitely coming. I'm just sending everybody. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me and I just don't get way more people killed. But like I said, this is nothing particularly on any one developer. Least of all, the guys here at Weappy and their publisher THQ Nordic, which THQ Nordic came in afterward. I think it's just for the console releases. I'm not sure. But this game has been incredibly well done. I've had zero problems in it. Any problems have mostly been my own, either not doing this or that, or not putting two and two together on the investigations. But yeah, like I said, always look into what you're getting yourself into. That's the biggest thing I can say. Attempted robbery at Buddhist temple. Several armed men stormed into the temple and started hacking up the golden statue of the Buddha. Don't think. Yeah, I gotta wait. Drug trafficking. Let's see. Police car draws up alongside the truck, but it doesn't slow down. There's a Jeep right behind, filled with men carrying guns. This is your last warning. Stop immediately. That went really well, actually. Surprise, surprise. I'm worried I'm not having the mob sell enough of my stuff. Because I've done good on the money. Wait a minute. Whoops, wrong one. Believe it's not the backlog. Where was it? Statistics. I have 84 days left. So I'm a little over the halfway point at this part, and I've only got 268,000. So I've got about half the amount of time left to get another $232,000, call it. So I think I'm all right, but I'm worried. If the investigation on Sands turns out great, that could get me huge amounts. Animal assault suburb. Man on the verge of hysteria called in. No, my house was attacked by crows. So many that they've darkened the sky. The sound of their cawing deafened my ears. They've surrounded the house, climbed through all the cracks, and they're threatening my whole family. Somebody got drunk and fell asleep watching the birds, didn't they? Suspicious individual vegetable shop. Sales clerk Reynaldo Cotto witnessed from behind a black visitor dropping a gun, which he then quickly grabbed and hid again. Then, like nothing had happened, the suspicious man continued to pursue the vermicelli. Mr. Cotto was afraid that the guy's up to something. Gibbons, Robinson. Oh, I only need to send two. But I will say, it's the attempted robbery, Kochi and Platonic. That I'm definitely keeping an eye on these guys as far as developers, and most likely the next thing they kickstart, assuming they have to. I do not have enough people. Oh Lord. I gotta wait for some people to come back. A single raven was sitting on the roof of the house, croaking loudly. Turns out the man who called the station is suffering from a mental disorder. Okay, that makes sense. But I'm definitely keeping an eye on these guys as developers. Oh, wow. And most likely, assuming that they have to kickstart something again, I will most likely end up backing on this one. Because this has turned out to be absolutely worth every bit that I've paid. I mean, so far, this is part 11. This is the longest run series. Oh, the human trafficking just went away. Oh. New Francis missing person report and the theft. Oh, great. Offender escaped. And civilian killed. Fuck. That went bad. And the robbery at the city center. Oh, that was bad. That hurts. At least nobody was killed on that one. Offender caught, officers unharmed, civilians unharmed. But yeah. And this is one of those ones you're not going to see big AAA developers like, say, first one that comes to my head is CD Projekt Red, so because I've had The Witcher on my mind recently. And you're not going to see them likely kickstarting stuff. But we know what their reputation. We know exactly what they do, and that fans would absolutely kickstart whatever they did. You had a group like EA ask for stuff, that wouldn't be so much. As much as we know what to expect from them, that's also part of the problem. Indie developers, it's always a mixed bag, because not every Kickstarter turns out like this, or like the big one that immediately comes to mind is Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight has gone way beyond anything anybody expected. A good example of things going not so right, and it's one everybody references, is Mighty Number 9. I watched gameplay. I haven't played it. It seems like it plays like exactly what I was expecting from their descriptions. It's nothing super innovative. It's nothing mind-blowing, but it's basically it's very much like the old games that it's emulating. So that's that. But the thing that went downhill was, of course, the delays, which every Kickstarter has delays. I've yet to run into one that was on time or ahead of schedule. With a little bit of an exception, so far Dark Souls has been right on schedule. They've, in fact, been slightly ahead, I think. But for the most part, every Kickstarter had delays. I've had stuff I've waited over a year for it to come through. But the one that immediately comes to mind on that one is Sense the Sleight of Hand Man, a RPG adventure for Call of Cthulhu by Dennis Detweiler and Arc Dream Publishing. I waited over a year for it to actually show up, but I got the book literally doubled in size between when I kickstarted it and what I got. So it was well worth the wait, and it was everything I'd hoped it would be. But yeah, the delays that happened, the atrocious, at least over here in the US, the atrocious marketing campaign. The one trailer they released, the gameplay footage was alright and everything, but it was very, very condescending to the audience that it was aimed toward, which is a bad move. It got people talking about it, but not in a good way, which, I mean, in some ways any advertising is good advertising, but and the fact that, largely in some ways the game was just mediocre, but its release following not long after the advertising happened just had a bad taste in everyone's mouth, and it blew up in their faces. So, as it was, it seems like it was largely what it was supposed to be. Anyway, I think we're going to call this here for today. This has been a productive day. We got a little bit more plot. We found out a few more things. I killed a bunch of officers. We had a drop in the chat from the developer. It's always nice to see that they're watching some of us and all that stuff. And part of the reason why I am doing all this, and it's like I said, when I set this up, I could see that I'm basically the only one streaming This Is the Police, or at least there's no audience that was actively watching This Is the Police, according to what Twitch said when I started. Obviously, there's several people here now. And thank you guys all for being here. I very much appreciate it. But part of the reason why I did stuff like this, I did the Sticks games, is because from smaller developers don't get a lot of recognition. And they do great, and they're doing great stuff. As soon as I saw footage, I watched the first. I saw it on Amazon. It caught my interest, and I managed to see Jacksepticeye playing a bit of it back from the PC release. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I like where this is going. I loved seeing John St. John in there playing Jack. I liked the theme, the vibe of the story. It had this very noir feel, despite being set in the 80s. Which, it was hard to tell exactly when it was set when it started, but there was a great clue later on. But yeah, guys like Weappy behind This Is the Police, and oh god, I can't believe I'm forgetting who Sticks. Cyanide Studios, who I'd done several of their stuff before. I pre-ordered Stick Shards of Darkness just so I could show it off. I wish I'd known that I could actually have gotten my stream at a higher quality at the time so that my YouTube videos and what you're seeing here would have been HD, but unfortunately I didn't realize that. I was listening to what their recommendations were saying, and it turned out to be absolutely bogus. But anyway, once again, thank you guys all for watching. I really appreciate you all being here. I appreciate any I should say thanks to all of you who watched this. Those of you who caught this live here on Twitch, those of you who saw it, made it this far on YouTube. As always, I really appreciate any likes, subscriptions, follows, comments, shares, anything you guys want to do that helps get the channel known between either the YouTube channel or this. Because obviously the YouTube channel links back to this and does all stuff, but there's always people who can't manage to catch stuff live, which is why all the stuff goes to YouTube. I want the content to be there for people to be able to watch it. I know sometimes I'm not the most entertaining, but I try. And I try and at least stay consistent with things. I don't know whether or not I'll do anything tomorrow. Tomorrow's normally one of the days I have off, but with some of the hitches that have happened this past week, I may do something. I'm not sure. If I do, it might be more Recore. There's something else I need to be doing, but I can't remember. But anyway, thank you guys again. I hope you have a great day and take care. Bye.